Hello YouTube, I'm Silvertrust Sonic, and I'm coming at you with my new deck profile. This is my Magnet Fossil deck. So let's get started. So starting off, I run 3 Alpha, 3 Beta, and 3 Gammas. Now each of them has their own effect when normal and special summoned. Alpha searches out your level 8 Magnet Warriors. Beta searches out your level 4 lower, and Gamma special summons level 4 lower from the hand. They all share the effect where, by tributing them on your opponent's turn, you can special summon a level 4 Magnet Warrior from your deck. The monster you'll probably summon will be the next one, Delta the Magnet Warrior. When he's normal special summoned, you can send a Magnet Warrior from your deck to the graveyard. Also, if he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can then banish 3 other Magnet Warriors except Delta, and then special summon an Alpha the Magnet Warrior, a Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior from your deck, ignoring its conditions. Next up we have Berserkion the Magnet Warrior. He can only be special summoned by banishing Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, the Electromagnet Warriors, from your hand, field, or graveyard. Then you can special summon any other way after that. He has the effect where you can banish a Magnet Warrior from the graveyard and destroy a card on your opponent's field. And if he's destroyed by battle or card effect, then you can special summon one of each of the banished Electromagnetic Warriors from your banish zone and get their effects off since they'll be summoned. I also run one of each of the original Magnet Warriors because they're all level 4. Because since a lot of the Magnet Warriors effects tribute and summon level 4s from the deck, they're kind of handy, and you use them for fodder for Berserkion. But I also use them just in case to summon Valkyrian himself. If you don't know, you need to tribute the original 3 for him from the hand or field. And then later, if you want to, you can use this effect to tribute Valkyrian, then summon the original 3 back. Now for the fossil stuff, we have Weathering Soldier. His effect is that if he's destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard by an effect, you can then search Fossil Fusion or any card that has Fossil Fusion in its text. Next up, we run 2 Doki Dokis. He's good. He's the best thing for an Earth Rock deck because by discarding a rock monster, you can put summon one from your deck with equal level and same type and attribute. For another card for a rock-based deck is Sentry Soldier Stone, who can summon himself from the graveyard if all you control are rock monsters. And running up our monsters, we have Block Dragon. Always great. You can summon it from the hand or graveyard by banishing 3 other rock monsters, doesn't matter what level or type or whatever. He'll protect all your rock monsters, including himself, except from battle. And if he's sent to the field to the graveyard, you can then search from your deck and add rock monsters whose levels equal 8. So you can probably add one of the big Magnet Warriors, 2 of the level 4s, or 2 level 3s, and 1 Doki Doki. Next up are spell cards, the new Fossil Fusion. As you know, the Fossil Fusion is kind of like Dragon's Mirror, but it only works for the graveyard, where you banish from your graveyard, and you can banish from your opponent's graveyard. Since this deck does mainly rock monsters, this card actually works pretty well with the deck. Also, if you banish something from your opponent's graveyard, the fusion monster can't be targeted by either of you. Also, if the fossil monster is sent to the graveyard, like destroyed or something, then this card actually retrieves itself back from the grave. Next, we have 3 Miracle Ruptures. This card lets you send a level 4 or lower rock monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if Fossil is in the graveyard already, you can just draw an extra card. You probably want to use this for your warrior so you can get your search for Fossil Fusion. Or you can use it to send the Magnet Warriors you need in the graveyard. 2 Time Streams. This card is like a rank up magic for fusions, where you tribute a Fossil Fusion monster and then summon one that's 2 levels higher from your extra deck. It also has the effect where you can banish this card and a Fossil Fusion in the grave to special summon another one from the grave instead. I run Terraforming plus the Magnetic Field. Now the Magnetic Field is lets you special summon a level 4 lower magnet from your graveyard if you have a level 4 Earth Rock monster. So it doesn't have to be a Magnet Warrior on the field either way. Also, it has this interesting effect that some people may forget about, where if a rock monster, Earth Rock monster you control battles an opponent's monster and it wasn't destroyed, you can then return that monster to his hand. It can actually come in handy for you. For some more one-ups, Monster Reborn, because it's always great. I also run one Burial from a Different Dimension. That way I can put back in monsters from my graveyard or my opponent, so I can use them for Fossil Fusion. And speaking of stuff to get back from the graveyard, we also have 2 Magnet Conversions, which let me get 3 Magnet Warriors from my graveyard back to my hand, or banish it during either player's turn to summon a banished one back to the field, which could also trigger the Electromagnetic Warrior's effects. Next up, we go to our extra deck. Starting off, we have 2 Fossil Warrior Skull Bones. This is the one that requires a rock monster and a level 4 monster, so it can be either your graveyard or your opponent's with Fossil Fusion. It can attack 2 monsters during the battle phase. Also, almost all the Fossil Fusions have like a banish effect, where by banishing them you can do something. For Skullbone, by banishing him, you can add Time Stream from your deck to your hand. Next up, we have 2 Skull Gears. This is one of the few that require you to specifically banish a rock monster and a level 4 from your opponent's graveyard. You cannot use your own for this guy. He does piercing damage, and by banishing him, you can have Fossil Fusion from your deck to your hand. Next, the little more expensive one, which you'll only probably be summoning mostly with Time Stream and Fossil Fusion, is Skull Knight. He does piercing damage as well, and when he joins a monster by battle, he can actually attack again. You can also banish him just to destroy one monster on the opponent's field. He requires a level 5 or 6 monster. Since this deck doesn't do it, you will need Time Stream or hope your opponent plays something level 5 or 6. Next, for our big guys, we do 1 Skull King. He requires level 7 or higher. Since you have someone in your deck, you can use them, or if your opponents play one, like someone like I don't know, Blue Eyes or something, you can use them. Anyways, he can make 2 attacks, so that means he can attack your opponent twice. He can also do piercing damage, and during your opponent's turn, you can just discard a card, target a monster they have in the graveyard, and supposed to summon it. So basically, it's for free. The monster can still attack, use its effects. You can choose its mode. Pretty good. Next, we have Fossil Dragon Skulgus. He requires your opponent's graveyard, specifically, once again, a level 7 or higher. Though when you get him off, he can actually go deal a lot of damage. He's got like a Chaos Max effect where he does piercing damage and can do double the damage no matter what mode it's in. Also, he has the effect where if he battles a monster, you can have that monster's attack and defense be switched. Next, I have 2 Gorgonic Guardians. Since I use the Electromagnetic Warriors a lot, and there's a lot of other level 3s in the deck, she's pretty good to use, since she can be a good defender for you. If you want, you can take one of her out for probably a Miss Radiant, I'd say. Next, Gallic Grant. He's basically a searcher for your whole deck, and supposed to summon it for the hand as well. And he only takes 2 level 4s. Now for our links, I run a Cross Sheep, since this deck mainly uses a lot of fusion, and can also do some Xyz plays. Miss Radiant, because this is a full Earth deck. Nightmare Unicorn is to get rid of stuff that can't target. And finally a Barrel-O, because a Barrel-O always can save you when you really need it. So yeah, that's my deck profile, everyone. I hope you all enjoy, and have a nice day.